Hello everybody, Coach Allison, and I have your March and April, yes, 2 months. So March and April warm up to go through with you. So you'll be doing this for about 8 weeks. All right, our first movement, half kneel, single arm, overhead reach. Got that? Half kneel, single arm, overhead reach. We do the half kneeling things a lot. So I'm sure you're familiar with the half kneeling setup. One knee is on the floor, one knee is up. Both knees should have a 90-degree bend. So as you can see, my back knee has about 90 degrees, my front knee. This would be less than 90, this would be more than 90. So find that 90 degrees. I'm gonna switch legs because that knee hurts. Whoa. And then the leg that is, the side of the leg that's down, that arm's gonna come up nice and straight and tall. And we're just gonna dip a little over and reach. This should feel really good. You're gonna get a good stretch all through here, down through your side, your rib cage, your obliques, into your hip, into your hip flexor. Depending on which direction you're leaning, you might get a little piriformis and glute. So really everything, even into the quad here. So yeah, you can kind of rest on that front leg here, it doesn't matter, or you can reach down. That feels really good. We're gonna do 30 seconds on each side. So you'll do one side 30 seconds, other side 30 seconds. Now to avoid being on the floor, you can turn it into a staggered standing stance. So like this was my half kneel, okay? This is staggered, so very similar. A little more balanced though, to be honest. So I'm gonna bring that arm up, reach over. If you'd like to put your hand on something at the gym for balance, go right ahead. If that is not working for you, whether it's the balance or maybe a knee thing, stand with your legs, not together, but parallel with one another. Do an overhead reach here. So all sorts of ways we can do that. Okay, next one. Alternating knee hugs, 5 on each side. Floor exercise. Okay, stretching out straight to start. Alternating, pulling the knees in. Give it a little bit of a tug and a little bit of a hold. So here's where my knee kind of stops naturally. Here's me tugging it in. So you do want to get that extra inch or whatever distance. Alternating. That'll be 5 on each side. Woohoo! And on way to do that standing, you really do the same thing, only standing. Alternate, just kind of picking that knee up. You can grab under the knee too, if getting around the front of the knee is a little tricky. Okay, so 5 on each side. Low plank is our next one for a 30-second hold. This is our standard plank that we do in our workouts all the time. Low plank doesn't have anything to do with being low on the floor. It means on your elbows as opposed to on your hands. So that's what low plank means. Elbows, toes, hips are level. Hips aren't way up here. You can drop it to knees if you do a knee plank. Make sure you're still in that diagonal plank and your butt's not way up here in a tabletop. You can also do that on a bench or a chair or a box. Elbows will then be on your inclined surface. Still want those hips level, not up in the air. 30-second hold there. All right, next one, sumo squats. 10 of those. All right, this is a normal squat stance. It's gonna look normal, by the way. Looks different for everyone because it kind of depends on the length, height of your legs and the width of your hips. But for me, this would be my normal stance. It's about hip width. Sumo is boop, boop, way wider. You want to take those feet, angle them outward slightly. And as you squat down, very important to allow your knees to travel outward as opposed to kind of keeping the knees here and then they fall inward. We don't want that. So you're going to get a good stretch in your inner thighs with sumo. It's just FYI. And notice how at the bottom of my squat, my knee is tracking directly over my ankle. Get a little bit of a forward lean with these, that's no problem, but don't come all the way down here. We don't want to round that back and fall all the way over. 10 of those. Hip openers, love these ones. You can hold on to something for balance because you're going to be on one leg. So we're going to do 5, we're opening up the hip, so like this hip joint here. 5, you lift, go side, back, and then you end exactly where you started. So feet back together. Lift, side, back together. So we do 5 one direction, and then with that same leg, we reverse it. Now we go back first, up, and swing to the center. 5 this direction, then we'll do 5 and 5 on the other side. Don't overthink it. Just pretend you're stepping over something. Like you're going for a walk and you have to step over a little fence, right? Or whatever. So that's kind of the movement we're trying to replicate there. Last one, lateral floor run. We're gonna do 10 leading with each leg, so a total of 20. What I mean by that is starting your feet together, you go out, out, in. I'm gonna lead with my right leg. Out, out, in. So I'm leading with my right leg. I'm gonna do 10 of those. Then kind of pause. Now I'm gonna lead with my left leg and do 10 more. Out, out, in. So you wanna be staying, kind of watch my feet, kind of be staying on the balls of the feet so we're not ever really putting the foot, I should say the heel, fully down on the floor. It's really good for, of course, a little bit cardio, but really good for the agility when you're on the balls of those feet. So that'll be a total of 20. Okay, that's our warm up for the next, again, for March and April, so 8-ish weeks, and hope you enjoyed this warm up.